Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Hello, everyone.
Hey!
Welcome to another episode of Hypecast!
Hypecast.
It's a show where we get hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm your other co-host, David Bell.
I'm Adam Todd Brown.
Adam Todd Brown.
Hey.
How are you?
I am so great. Who's not great right now? Everyone's doing
Man,
great.
so great, right?
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
We're
You know?
swimming
Oh, yeah.
in it. We're swimming in it.
Got our first foreign-born president. That's great.
Yep.
Elon Musk.
Really progressive stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But, you know, movies.
Yeah, movies.
Still got movies for right now.
Yeah.
Adam, is there anything you want to plug before we get started? Do our pluggies at the top here?
Oh, yeah. Plug it in.
I have a solo podcast called In Broad Daylight that I would enjoy if people listen to that. It's wherever podcasts are at, or you can get it on YouTube at Adam Todd Brown Comedy.
Oh,
Sweet.
cool.
That's it.
That's it?
Well, no, follow me on Blue Sky, please, for the love of God, so I can quit using all the other social media.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's Adam Todd Brown at whatever the rest of it is.
Yeah, everybody do that.
Todd with 1D. Just
Yeah.
go search on Blue Sky. You'll find me.
And just be on Blue Sky because it's good
In
for
general.
now.
Yeah.
That should be
It's
their motto.
okay.
It's okay
It's
for now.
okay.
Yeah. We haven't
They're
been
not doing
purchased
great
yet.
with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
do we want to get into some movies?
Well, no, because we have to thank some producers.
Ah, man, that's even better.
It
Damn
is
it,
even
Tom.
better. Big old sloppy thank yous to at Nerd Numbers was glad to talk wrestling with Dave and Jeff. Thank you. Thank you to Zero Charisma.
Thank you.
Thank you to 2001 A Space McNulty Odyssey.
Thank you.
Thank you to Action Superstar Taint Tappington.
Thank you.
Thank you to a man with a plan in the back of a van.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Aaron Burser.
Thank you.
Thank you to AJ.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew. Adam deserves more hype, McGuire. Thank
Hey!
you.
All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to Andrew Howe, demands a single act of kindness.
Thank
Thank you
you.
to Asking Seven.
Thanks.
Thank you to Ballet Karate Hulk.
Thank you.
Thank you to BLT22 EWHVIS-B.
Thank you.
Thank you to Bootler Bootlesson.
Thank you.
Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
Thanks.
Thank you to Brockway Loves the Meat Millie.
Thank you.
And thank you to Burrito, the skankiest slut in town.
Thank you.
Mm.
All right.
do
Movies.
it
Let's
without
talk
you.
about them.
movies.
do
I
it.
bet there's skankier sluts in their town, though.
I bet
You can
if you're
challenge
willing
that.
to look, if you're willing to put in the
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, it's like when people are like, there's no good music on the radio anymore. Yeah, there is. Just look around.
Yeah, just try.
Scan around, man. Slide that dial.
All right. The Fantastic Four trailer came out. Fantastic Four First Steps. It looks, I mean, what do you guys think of this? It's Marvel. I feel like this is Marvel's big one.
Well,
Like this is because they got Captain America coming out in February. They
Yeah.
have Thunderbolts, and I don't think they're very confident about Thunderbolts, at least.
I
It's
sort of forgot about Thunderbolts. I
did they.
feel like it already came out.
right. This is coming out this year.
Yes.
Is it? So it's the 3 movies.
This one comes out in July.
Yeah, Captain America. They're the ads. If you watch the ads, they're making it look like a political thriller, like a Jack Ryan film.
It looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's cute. Jack Ryan films don't tend to have the Hulk in them, but that does
should.
look fun.
They should.
Yeah.
I'd watch them if they did.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I realize that's why they cast Harrison Ford, right? I think
Yes.
they specifically stunt casted him, where they're like, we're going for serious political. Not that it's necessarily going to be that, but this feels like the most Marvel thing they're pushing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, where they're like, this is our big event.
Yeah.
This is what they want to make $1 billion with.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. It looks fine. I like that it's set in the 60s, and that's sort of like that futurism fad of the time. That specific style of like sort of like the Tomorrowland vibe, the movie specifically.
Yes. This the Jetsons shit. And I
yeah,
like
it's
that.
Jetsons, yeah.
I like that because they're using it, I think, to embrace the stupidity of it.
You kind of
like
have
dumb.
to. It's the Fantastic Four. Like,
yeah,
they're probably the goofiest superheroes.
I don't know how it ties. It doesn't feel like it. This is the cinematic universe of it all, where I'm like, I kind of like. I feel like they're also trying to avoid overlap and shit.
I don't know. I'm not worried about that stuff. Like,
I don't think most people are worried about it. No one cares.
Yeah.
I assume they're like time travel or something. I assume
Something
they'll find
like
a way
that.
to get them.
They'll go into space. Like, that's how they get their powers.
Right. I just mean the way. Yeah. They're gonna find some way to be mixing with the modern MCU.
Yeah.
It's just it was kind of Eternals. I think really broke my brain because that one was the least logical in terms of like the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
This one, it's like they're going for kind of this, like you said, it almost looks like a different world. It's retro futurist, World's Fair shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And it also makes it so that like I like that the rock monster looks just as dumb as it does in the comics.
Yeah.
I like that they were like, let's not try to do the gritty version that everybody would expect us to.
Herbie running around.
I have
Yeah.
question. I have a question about the rock monster. Who makes his clothes? Is that like off the rack? Is there like a
No, it's custom.
a big and tall and rocks store?
Yeah. I'm sure there's
they
like
have one location.
Yeah, I'm
It's
sure
in
he
the
like has a
Baxter
brand deal, right? He probably had a brand
Oh
deal
yeah, no,
with
he's
someone.
got endorsements.
Sponsors. Yeah.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine his Nikes?
yeah. Like Shaq, Shaq has a big and tall brand. Thing would have that too. Like he would definitely have a big and tall, like tie-in brand.
I like Shaq trying to fit into the big and tall box. That's not not how you describe Shaq. That's not.
No, like
Mostly tall.
There's no big and tall store that sells his clothes.
Yeah.
Shaq is one mutation away from a rock monster.
Yeah.
So like his clothes, you'd have to get them widened, but otherwise they would probably fit the ever-loving blue-eyed thing.
Yeah. Here's my personal feeling on the Fantastic Four is for me, it's all upside. And what I mean is I have nothing invested in it.
Right.
That's how I feel about a lot of Marvel, which is that the only time I get frustrated with Marvel is when it just feels like devoid of creativity, when it feels corporate made, or when the movie just is a story mess, right? When like the Fantastic Four, the last one, the gritty one, was like hard to watch only because you're watching and you're like, this isn't fun. I can't, like, it feels like they cut a lot of stuff out.
Yeah,
it was
and
reshoots.
Gibberish, yeah.
So like for me, like in terms of like what a Fantastic Four needs to be, I'm like I think just dumb and kind of fun,
I
right?
think it needs to be live action The Incredibles.
Yeah. Yeah. And so for that reason, I kind of like the other ones, the 2000 ones.
Yeah.
Like,
I
for
mean,
what they are.
Yeah, I mean, the second one was PG.
Yeah. And like, they're very
Fantastic
stupid
Four,
and
man.
fun.
Yeah, it's just... there's only upside. Like, you see Galactus in the end with his big goofy hat. If we get to make more of them, hopefully we'll see Mole Man. He's one of the stupidest characters ever, Dave. You'll love him.
It feels like almost they're taking a cue from James Gunn with his Superman, where it's like, let's embrace the comics, even if it's dumb. And I sort of like that because it makes it more, it feels less creatively bankrupt to do that because that's a challenge.
Well, you get to play around with more stuff, I guess. If you embrace it. Otherwise, we're stuck with like the sort of the 2000s X-Men attitude.
Right, which was also fun.
Well, we want to be cool though. We can't be too goofy. We can't wear our costumes. We have to wear Matrix costumes.
It feels like, and this goes across the board, we're hitting a point where companies aren't embarrassed by their IP. Like they're like embracing it, and it's like, it's weird that that's a thing that it took a while to do, but like, yeah, be dumb. You know? I don't know.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on this?
I still feel like I'm over Marvel movies.
Yeah.
To the point that I don't know if I'll even watch this when it's streaming. I'm definitely not going to see it in theaters. Like, fucking take a month off, Marvel. Jesus Christ.
Well, they are. I mean, this is them slow. They have started to slow down. That's the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like they hit this point of
when was the last one? What was the last Marvel movie?
Deadpool, I assume.
Oh yeah, that was last year.
There was a point where they were like packing Disney Plus and like packing with movies, and like you could tell everybody realized at the same time, like, this is out of control. Like, nothing's making sense anymore. They were having like diminishing returns on their box office. I don't know if they will recover, but I do think it was wise that they took a beat and was like, it's like they realized like no one wants to see our face this much. We're going to go away for a while. Yeah. And when we come back, maybe we will be like, oh, hey, yeah, Marvel. I haven't had Marvel for a while, you know, like it's that. And for me personally, it has worked where I'm like the Captain America. I'm just like, yeah, I could go for a big, dumb Marvel film.
Yeah, I'm kind of in a similar spot. Well, sort of like a mix of you and Adam, where like I definitely feel like I'm kind of over Marvel movies, but which is weird because I'm still a huge Marvel fan. Like I'm still buying the comics and fucking playing the video games and everything. Like I'm still a big Marvel fan. It's just like the movies, I'm kind of like, I haven't really felt like any of them have been like urgent. Or like, you know, like, I gotta go out and see that.
Yeah.
But I'm okay.
I am stoked for Captain America. Like this looks good. And I like how I guess kitschy, but it's maybe not the right word, but I like how kitschy the Fantastic Four looks.
I think that's my other issue with this movie in particular. All of my favorite Marvel movies are the ones that just focus on one character.
Right.
Like, well,
a small group doesn't bother me.
Like Endgame, though. That's like more than a fucking Marvel movie. That movie was so fucking good.
But
they
earned
sweet.
It.
Yeah.
And so that's what it is I think
the core cast was still pretty small in that one. Sorry.
Yeah. No, the feeling that you're describing, Tom, of like it's not urgent was how Marvel started, in my opinion, which is that was what was made me draw me into in the first place, which was like, here's an Iron Man, here's a Hulk, and you're like, you don't have to watch them, they're fun. And then you start naturally liking them, and then they're like, here comes Avengers, and then it was a natural urgency of like, oh, I gotta see the Avengers. But then after Endgame, I felt like they were trying to like create that urgency. You know, they were like blackmailing us. They were like, you know, we're going to put out this stuff. And if you want to watch this, you have to watch this series. Like they were abusing that feeling. And so everybody just went, you know what, forget it. And so like, I think they just have to reset and be like, here's a fun story. Now here's another fun story. I do agree where like both Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts are both ensembles. And they're still having this problem where they can't just introduce a single character anymore because they've created so many characters in the MCU that they have to like triple up. You know, like Thunderbolts feels like them going like, oh yeah, there's all these leftover characters. Here they all are. We're going to try to do a Suicide Squad with them. But I do think the pacing, at least, of like slowing down the movies is refreshing.
Yeah, I think
and I am
smart.
getting that. Yeah, and I'm getting that feeling again where I'm like, I don't really have to feel like I have to keep up with this stuff.
And I am excited for Superman. So I mean, I'm not like done with superheroes. It's just like
I think the
Marvel
vibe
became like the modular modularization or modularification of it definitely became an issue for me. And just
I was gonna say that's actually like, making more standalone things is gonna help them.
That's yeah. I used the wrong word for that.
No, it's fine.
The opposite of modularization.
Yeah, I just think that's going to help. Like, you look at the Harry Potters where they tried to tack on all these extra stories, and it's like that was exhausting for a few reasons. They were trying to simulate another saga, and it's like you got to watch each one, and also it was like bad.
Right. They start to insult your intelligence. That's when it bothers me.
Yeah, whereas imagine if Harry Potter was like, here's an independent story. Now here's another. Now here's another. You might feel inclined to check one of them out, and I feel like Marvel is trying to go back to it. I don't know. Do you want to talk about another franchise that is
for
just
sure
dragging on?
Yeah, I was just going to say, but I think we can all agree there are not enough Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah. Well, I've heard multiple people say this, and so I'm just going to say it too. Why didn't they call it Jurassic Park Rebirth?
Because it's Jurassic World Rebirth, I guess.
Right. But I think they're specifically the rebirth of it all, right? They know, they had a meeting. They're like, no one likes these Jurassic World movies.
No.
So you would think, call it Jurassic Park again and say this is the rebirth of that.
Well, here's my thoughts on that. In my opinion, I think the further it gets from Jurassic Park, the better we are. Like, I like that this one has almost nothing to do with Jurassic Park, except for it plays the theme a little bit at the end.
Well, it does the banner.
Well, yeah, but that's true.
And it has a kid in it. Why are they bringing a kid to
That's a great question. I'm sure we'll find out. I'm not saying this movie looks good. I'm just saying I like the idea. The only good idea that Jurassic World series had, and it was a really good one, was just having the dinosaurs out in the world and existing now. So keeping the franchise in that spot and just playing around with that, I think is I like that because honestly, it's weird that Jurassic Park is the only movie series that wants to make dinosaur movies.
Yes.
I don't understand why we can't get more dinosaur movies. So I'm fine with these dinosaur movies as long as they can stop trying to milk my nostalgia so much.
For sure.
Am I understanding the trailer correctly that these dinosaurs are in prison?
Yes. That's what I want to say. It's not about how the dinosaurs are everywhere. Like you're saying, the good part is that the dinosaurs are everywhere.
Well, the universe of it, I'm saying. Anyway.
Oh yeah, but they're going back. They're going back to Lost World or Jurassic Park 3, where they're it's a team who's going to the island to get something, which we've done a few times now. And I think this is the Lost World Island. Is that
probably
the implication?
Like that.
But it might even be a new one that they've invented.
And they're saying it has all the dinosaurs that were too bad.
Right.
The worst of the worst.
They're
the
smoking
problem
cigarettes.
Dinosaurs. Yeah. The raptors are wearing leather jackets.
Yeah.
Were these the real bad raptors? Is that why they're there?
Yeah.
And here's the question. If you're just making dinosaurs out of thin air, why keep these? Just kill the bad ones. They're dinosaurs, Kill them.
Yeah. Well, they want their blood or whatever.
Oh,
their blood.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say is this is the director of Rogue One, which I thought was very good, and Godzilla, the first
3D reboot.
I hope he uses his instincts on Godzilla to make this movie. Those instincts were things I didn't like about Godzilla, mind you, because his instinct of Godzilla was let's not show Godzilla. And I don't know. I want to see Godzilla, but in this, I'm I guess what I'm saying is I want the fucking dinosaurs to be scary again. You know what I mean? That's what I want out of a Jurassic Park.
Yeah, and there's a good dose of that in this, I think.
I think these are going to have guns and shit. It sounds.
Yeah. From this trailer, honestly, I didn't catch. I felt like it's still we're going action.
Yeah.
And here's what I've been thinking about. And this isn't this movie's fault because this movie is trying to be something, and it is what it is. It's more to your point, Tom, that they're not making enough dinosaur things. There's a horror game right now that's dinosaurs, and there is a push for young people realizing that dinosaurs are scary, the way a horror movie is scary. And like I've said this before, the original Jurassic Park books were scary. They were gory. They were talking about horrific, they would write the deaths from the perspective of the person dying and how horrific and terrifying they were. Why can't we do that? Why can't we do like a Jurassic Park miniseries that's hard R? Why can't we go like seriously? Like why can't we go back to the books and like kind of take some of the stuff that was stripped out to make it more like family friendly?
Why can't we see these dinosaurs fuck?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just
when are we going to
raw
see
dog
some dino titties?
I feel like we might have already and just didn't
true.
realize it.
Yeah.
Some big
that's
old
possible.
dino honkers. And a hog.
But
I want to see a dino hog.
Yeah.
I'm fine with what you're saying about kids like relearning that dinosaurs are scary just because the political climate we're living in. I wouldn't be at all surprised if this administration popped up tomorrow and was like, you know what? Dinosaurs, let's bring those back.
Yeah. I just think
why
like
don't we have car-sized birds anymore?
yeah. I just think that the Jurassic Park series in general, and this started with Spielberg with The Lost World, leaned towards adventure.
Yeah.
Action adventure. But the first Jurassic Park did have a little bit of that remnants from the book of like horror. Of like, this is horrific. The arm, like fucking the arm dropping on
Sam
her.
Jackson's arm.
Yeah. Stuff like that, where it was like he was doing a horror movie at times. And I feel like we just completely shoved away from that. And so I maybe this will bring it back. It's just in the trailer, it seemed like it was still like.
No, this is going to be more like.
I think it'll be more adventure.
Alan
again,
Quartermain,
action
yeah.
adventure. Yeah. And that's all right.
Yeah, I like adventure movies, but I see what you're saying.
We've made so many of these where it's like, why not try something else?
Well, like 65 million tried to do that or whatever it was called.
Yeah,
65.
Yeah.
It just wasn't very good.
I just think the Jurassic Park franchise, since they're making so many,
Yeah,
might
why
as well
not?
make one of those. You
Why
know?
not? Apparently, the Netflix cartoon is good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Me either.
But that's for kids, right? That's camp.
It's for
Cretaceous or whatever?
Camp Cretaceous. I think it's for like 10, like around that
Sure.
age. I don't know.
Like a 10.
like a 10, like around 10.
Like a solid 10. Yeah.
Because it's it's a little scary, so I think it's not for like real young kids. But anyway.
Right. Should we talk about Ash?
Yeah.
This looks great, and I have no idea what's going on,
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
but I really
This-
want to see this.
This was actually, I almost considered this for more hype, but it almost immediately got hype.
Yeah, I saw this trailer actually last weekend in front of whatever the hell we watched last weekend.
What
was it?
Fucking Companion.
Companion, that's right.
Yeah, this looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, this is the director is Flying Lotus, who directed the Ozzy's Dungeon short in VHS 99.
Yeah, which
was just such a wild, surreal short.
Did you guys get the vibe Alien meets Annihilation, or like a little bit of Sunshine in there, where they're doing like this is space crew around a table laughing, and then like someone wakes up, and I think there's some sort of alien involved, but it just feels way more surreal than that, and that's awesome. Like, it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I like the tech. There's like some weird tech that they're wearing that like I love.
Yeah, it's a little lost and spacey.
The thing that's doing the probe too looks wild.
It's rare. It's hard to like, because I feel like every vision of sci-fi is built off of other people's vision of sci-fi, right? That's just everything. Is sort of
certain tropes that we just kind of do automatically without really thinking about it.
Yeah, it's just nice to see that, but still see like stuff that I'm like, I haven't really seen that before, or that looks completely original. Like, it looks like a fully realized world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's neat.
Yeah,
And
man,
Aaron
looks
Paul's
sick.
there.
Aaron Paul is there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Aaron Paul, he's gonna say bitch a bunch.
Mhm.
Man, you know he is.
He better. It's in his
Chili
contract.
He's gonna call the alien a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody watch the trailer. It's hard to describe.
Yeah, it's just it's an astronaut who like wakes up and finds out that a huge amount of time has passed, much longer than she thinks, and it just sort of goes from there, I guess, is the best way to sort of describe it.
I like that premise because I think I hope it's built on the idea that, like, imagine if a caveman woke up now and how surreal the world would look to them. Like, I kind of want it to be kind of
right.
that.
Everything would be insane. Like, it would be indecipherable.
Yeah, and I'm hoping it's kind of like that for this person. That would be neat.
That is an interesting idea, yeah.
Yeah. Next trailer. Hurry up, Tomorrow.
I did not know this was a movie. I just saw that The Weeknd had a new album out.
Oh.
Like, I'll give that a listen. And the song about him drowning to death makes a lot more sense now.
Wait, so by the Tomorrow they're referring to, is tomorrow like the weekend? Is it like Saturday?
We're all working for it.
Yeah, that's true.
We are. Everybody.
This looks great, and I wish I knew what it was about.
I think it's a fan sitch.
Yeah, or like Misery, kind of.
Yeah, I would consider Misery a fan situation, the fan situation.
It looks more weird and surreal than that. It looks like it's not just
it looks like there's way
that.
more to it than that.
Yeah.
But it definitely looks like Jenna Ortega is obsessed with The Weeknd and abducts him.
Yeah, who isn't? Yeah. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, The Weeknd's great.
Yeah. That's definitely a component in it. I guess unlike the last one, I felt like it didn't have enough like the last one they also don't give you much, but you kind of have enough visual tropes where you're like, I get it. I get what this is probably going to be.
You kind of get the vibe of it. Yeah, it's like cosmic horror. Yeah,
this one I'm like, it's not bad that it doesn't look like a lot of things. Like, that's good, right?
Yeah.
It's the director of It Comes at Night, which is a movie I liked.
So did I.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is probably extremely good.
Yeah. And since when has The Weeknd made bad movies or TV, you know?
Sure.
Never, I don't think.
I don't think, yeah.
Can't imagine.
The album isn't that good. I'll tell you that much. I was highly disappointed by the sound, what I'm guessing is the soundtrack now.
Probably.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Definitely my least favorite Weeknd.
Wait, is the album the same name? Is it?
Yeah, it's called
Hurt Tomorrow. We need more of that.
Yeah, we should do this more often.
Yeah,
let's make more Moonwalkers.
We don't have it. Yeah, and we also generally don't have enough song tie-ins. You know, where a song is written for a movie.
Not anymore. I miss those days. Yeah.
Yeah, soundtracks used to be such a big deal.
It was such a huge part of the marketing. Yeah,
90s, like early 2000s. Yeah, like there were movies, especially if you're talking like rap soundtracks. There were
Dangerous
movies
Minds
that I feel like existed solely for the soundtrack. Like way more thought went into that soundtrack than
I think
some of those movies.
We also had a push. I feel like we've had more of a push towards like soundtracks that are just composers, where it's like you look at like Batman Forever and you're like, why does it have that many fucking songs in it? These days a Batman wouldn't have that, right? A Batman wouldn't be filled with songs like that. And so it's like I'm like, they should be. We don't have to take Batman so seriously. We can have like fucking tie-in music with Batman. We can have a song about how he's Batman in
the
there.
Riddler can be listening to the Flaming Lips.
Yeah, why not?
We were just talking about Judgment Night on the music podcast that we do, and how it needs a sequel, but like just the soundtrack, like just the Judgment Night soundtrack part 2.
Yeah, why not?
No, we could do a reboot of that. Another Judgment Night soundtrack with the bands we have available to us right now.
I would kind of love a reboot of Judgment Night with the exact same cast.
I also really like the idea of soundtrack sequels to movies that don't exist.
They made a soundtrack sequel to Forrest Gump, but it was just like even more music from Forrest Gump.
Oh, okay, yeah. I want like different music for pretend scenes that never existed.
The Guest 2.
Did they do that?
They made a soundtrack for The Guest 2, and it rocks.
It's cool.
Pretty sweet.
I gotta listen to that.
Do it. Yeah, it's on. You can download it anywhere.
I will.
Wherever you
I will
find your
download
music,
it anywhere.
Dave.
Yeah.
The last soundtrack I remember caring about, I can't even remember the name of the movie, but it was a horror movie that flopped really bad. And it had the kid from Stranger Things in it. You know the one.
Finn Wolfhard?
Yes.
Was it The Turning?
Yes. That soundtrack rips.
The end credit song goes hard.
Yeah. And he's in a band. He's got like 3 songs on that soundtrack. And
really?
They're great. Yeah.
I wonder if the end credit song is his.
It might be. And I believe the rest of the artists are all women. And then he's got a few songs on it too, but it's all like indie rock stuff. It's a really good soundtrack.
Yeah, man,
a movie
dog
that I've
shit.
never seen.
Oh, it's bad.
I've heard, yeah.
It was like infamously shelved, I think, for
yeah,
a
it's
time.
It's got a lot of problems, that
and it
movie.
was like cut up a bit. Did we
the
watch it,
ending
Dave?
No, I watched it on my own. And the
so did
ending is I gasped. It's one of those endings where you're like, why? Yeah, I don't even want to spoil it.
The ending is like
it's a twist, but it's like a twist that you'd never expect because why would you? It's one of those.
Yeah, and
now
it was
I
just
kind of want to see it.
This is not a spoiler, but it's the equivalent if the main character discovered they were secretly a robot. Like it's that where you're like, wait, fucking what? Like it's that.
It didn't help that it came out like around the same time as The Haunting of Bly Manor, which is also an adaptation of The Turning of the Screw.
Right, where they're like, here's a better version.
Yeah, this is a way better version.
Yeah. We need to talk about this next trailer.
Yeah, we
Locked.
Oh, man.
I feel like Bill Skarsgård has to get in this pattern where he's got to remember that every fourth film he has to show his face.
Right.
He has to not be covered in some shit.
Yeah.
So this is he breaks into a car that has an Anthony Hopkins anti-theft device.
It sure
essentially.
does.
Yeah.
It's basically, what if the anti-theft device from RoboCop locked you inside and spoke like Anthony Hopkins?
Did a saw.
Yeah,
What if it did a saw? It's their
Anthony
actual plot
Sopkins.
is it's clearly like a billionaire or a rich guy who set a trap, who wanted to catch a car thief so he could punish him for trying to steal his car. So it's basically Saw in a car, where he's like being driven around by this car against his will. It's soundproof, it's gunproof, he can't get out, and Anthony Hopkins is essentially torturing him through the smart car, which I gotta say, I think this is an extremely smart premise. And what I mean kind of commercially, like it might be artistically, don't get me wrong, but like
it's a very fun premise artistically, I think.
Well, it's like, okay, smart cars and modern cars are a thing that we're just hitting, right? Mm-hmm. That we can have fun with. So it's sort of like, how like when cell phones became a thing, we're like, what if horror was cell phones? It's that. It's like, okay, well, we have this premise to work with. And then it's like, this is also like, we basically just have to put Anthony Hopkins in a booth and have him record his lines. He does show up in the trailer, so it's implied he does physically show up. But it's like, okay, that boosts the value of your movie really cheaply, right? Like, or cheaply relative to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's all in a car. So it's like, okay, we also don't have to like shoot in a complicated area. We just shoot in a car. And it's just, I don't know, very smart premise.
Yeah. The part where it's just Anthony Hopkins' voice mostly reminds me of Phone Booth.
Yes.
Yeah. Like a lot of this reminds me a little bit of Phone Booth.
It's very Phone Booth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although Phone Booth had the one problem, and I'm sure we've mentioned it before, which is that don't use Kiefer Sutherland as the voice if you're trying to pretend that the killer is someone else at the end. Because if you remember, Phone Booth ends with them being like, it's the pizza man. And everybody watching is going, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
So don't try to do a fake out if you're going to use a voice like that.
Yeah. This also reminds me a little bit of Buried, the Ryan Reynolds movie.
Yeah, I really liked that one.
All takes place in fucking coffin underground. The ending of that movie, oof.
Mm-hmm.
Don't spoil it. I haven't actually seen it.
Life-shattering.
It is.
Ooh, I need to see it.
Very good. It's gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right, I'll watch it.
It's also a little like Sorry Wrong Number, if you've ever heard that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about the next one. When No One Sees Us.
Yeah, this is a Spanish True Detective. It looks great.
Yeah.
It's very True Detective like.
Yeah. It's funny, to your note, Adam. It's funny how like the things I glom onto fictionally is like exactly against my my personal views of the world.
No, it's
because like I love a good.
It's a paradox.
detective.
We all love procedurals. We all love mysteries, like detective mysteries.
Yeah, there should just be like a little ACAB that pops up.
Right, yeah, there should be a little warning that comes before each show to remind you now. Here's a viewer's warning. Cops fucking suck.
It should be in like the content warnings, like on Netflix where it's smoking, and then just put like propaganda after it.
Yeah.
I think that's why The Wire probably stands out for people, because that's one of the few ones that's like, you are following the cops and you're following their lives and you kind of like them, but it never shied away for being like, these people suck, you know, like they're violating people's rights. They're doing fucked up stuff.
And so you kind of blinds a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Season.
Yeah. It doesn't force you to root for them.
Exactly.
No.
Expect you to.
You're like, I love the character of McNulty, but I don't think he should be a cop.
Yeah, he deserved to be on that boat.
Yeah, throw him on that fucking boat.
Keep him on that
away
boat.
from the people.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about this one.
Just it looks really good. It looks intense.
Yeah, it looks good.
All right, the next trailer. Moving along. Can I Get a Witness?
We should say it's a mini series on HBO Max.
That's true.
Yeah, when no one sees
the
us.
one before it, not Can I Get a Witness.
Not Can I Get a Witness.
Can I Get a Witness is like an indie. It's an indie. It looks like drama, sci-fi. It is, for people who need a reference, it is the episode, I believe, Half a Life of TNG. So it's in TNG, they have an episode where they go to a planet and the planet is like prosperous and peaceful, but they're trying to solve like their equivalent of climate change. And the scientist working with the Enterprise is like, he fails his like test that he's doing, his like science test. And he goes like, oh, well, I got to go home and die. And they're like, wait, what? And they're like, oh yeah, everybody in our society kills themselves at 60. That's why we're prosperous. And it's about Troy's mom as well. And it's sort of about, they briefly like convince this guy to maybe not do that. And how like, oh, maybe this is fucked up, you know? And as you pointed out in the notes, Tom, it's also Logan's Run. But like, this is way more similar in that they push it like a gentle dystopia, where it's like, this is good though. It's good for everybody. Everybody seems to want it. Like, it's the idea that like most people seem to want it, but also like
they're all sort of embracing it as part of their duty for humanity. But yeah, also it's like, can we live longer? Maybe.
Exactly. Because in Star Trek, as she points out, she's like, what about, like, it's not fair. What about people who want to die at 40? What about people who would live till 80? You know, it's that where it's like, why you can't put a fucking like a timer on everybody's life.
Yeah, and it's about like, it looks like a semi-futuristic world where you just like open this little box that has like some flower toxin in it. What they show it looks like pollen coming off of a plant, and it just kind of kills you peacefully. And our main character is like, I guess, a witness, and she's illustrating their deaths. And her
and the illustrations come to life.
Yeah.
They don't use photograph technology.
I get the implication. This is one of those sci-fi dramas where they don't care about the sci-fi, and that's okay. Yeah. Where the sci-fi is more magical. Where I felt like, the drawings I felt like they were going to say is like a tech or something.
Yeah, it's like a tablet
it's just like
thing,
Yeah. And that's fine. I think this is going to be quite good. It looks good. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it looks interesting. The premise reminds me a little bit of Humane also. Did you see?
Yeah, Humane looks like it was like a crueler version of this premise, it looked like.
Yeah, Humane.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's a future version of society where you can just like volunteer to die. for the benefit of mankind because we need less people. And it's, but yeah, there's more to it than that.
Yeah. This also has Sandra Oh in it, who
He's great.
always great to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. She seems, I don't know, that End of the World movie she was in. Remember that one, Tom?
Oh yeah.
Like,
What
I
was
feel
that
like
called?
she's, I don't know. It was like 90s. Last Night. That's what it was called.
Okay.
She seems to be like attracted to weird indie shit.
Yeah, she's in Hard Candy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so she's like, I don't know, to me an indicator that if she's in a movie, I'm like, that's probably gonna be pretty neat, you know?
Yeah, I
It'll be
think
a neat indie film.
Sideways was the first thing I ever saw her.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks good. I don't know. That, like most Star Trek premises, it's something that can be expanded into a movie, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
almost every Star Trek episode you're like, yeah, you could make that a whole movie if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about Sinners?
Yeah, man.
Looks pretty good.
This looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's a vampire movie from Ryan Coogler.
Yeah. Did you guys have the Dusk Till Dawn vibes where it's like
A little
secret vampires? It felt like they were like the plot seems to think that they're having some sort of like party at like a little like a roadhouse type place, right? Like and then a group of vampires gather outside and they're like, you're coming out. It clearly has like, you know, it's clearly also like just like the KKK or something like that, where they're a group of like white dudes outside, like, come on out here. It's that vibe.
Yeah.
It's the Near Dark family.
Yes. And it just looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, this looks fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really into this.
It's Michael B. Jordan. Is he playing twins?
He's playing twins, yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of like they're bootleggers.
Yeah, they kind of spoil the idea that one of the twins is going to turn.
Going to turn into a vampire,
But
yeah.
I'm wondering if that's not the split. I wonder if they'll do something where like the vampires can look like other people, or I don't know. Nah, probably that he turned. I don't know.
Yeah. Michael B. Jordan is one of my best podcast memories. We had Aaron Covington on. He's one of the writers on Creed. And
Right.
I told him that I saw a tweet. I still can't remember who tweeted this, but it's one of my favorite tweets of all time. It just said the B in Michael B. Jordan stands for basketball. And I told him that on the podcast, and he immediately texted Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my God, I'm so close to Michael B. Jordan right now.
That's pretty great.
Oh, that's awesome.
What did he say?
I don't know. I don't know if he like didn't write back.
He's like, don't text me ever again.
B. Jordan said. I don't think we ever even asked. I'm bad at podcasts. I'm going to find something else to do.
I'm really excited that he's also doing the Thomas Crown Affair, Michael B. Jordan.
Oh,
and
hell
I'm like,
yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
He's also he's lined up for a lot of things, including I Am Legend 2 and Rainbow Six. And I just
sure,
like,
yeah, because he just did the whatever his name is, the other Jack Ryan character.
yeah,
I never remember what his name is.
I don't remember either. But I really appreciate Michael B. Jordan's ability to do shit like this movie, where I'm like, this looks fucking artistic and awesome, but also to do like dad movies.
Oh, hell
And
yeah,
like,
yeah.
a lot of them too. I feel like after doing Creed, he like has like a dad pipeline where they're like, if you're interested, we have other dad movie projects that if you would like to do, and he does.
Yeah,
It's a
I
good combo.
I get the sense he's like kind of a secret dork.
I can see that.
Like
he's he's said before that he's like super into anime, I believe.
There's an incident that like there's video of it out there, but he's on a red carpet somewhere and this woman comes up to interview him and he's like, you used to make fun of me in high school. It's like, Jesus, you're Michael B. Jordan and you're holding on to that?
That's amazing. I mean,
You won.
aren't we
dude.
all? Aren't we all though?
Yeah, absolutely. Because that is kind of the dream. Like you get this and then you see your bully.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what. Yeah.
TV, no less. Oof.
We have one more trailer, folks, and it's a big one to me personally.
It is pretty huge. I just wanted to add that the sting at the end of the Sinners trailer is Delroy Lindo shitting his pants.
Also, yeah, Delroy
Incredible.
Lindo is in this, and
Hell yeah, he
that
is.
warms my heart.
He's great.
All right, final trailer, Final Destination Bloodlines.
Yep.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
been way too long, folks.
And it's just the whole trailer is just a truncated death scene. It's a truncated murder trap scene.
Yeah, a very stupid one, as they
Typical
should be.
Death, though. I was surprised by how normal this guy's death was in the trailer. Everything else
Ultimately, yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
I would argue a lot of these also don't, like, you might not be actually seeing it all. He might roll out of that fire.
I'm sure,
Like,
yeah.
like, they,
Yeah.
I have noticed that, like, the Final Destination, I remember the trailers wouldn't give it all away. This is from the director of Freaks, 2018's, the one with Bruce Dern, which is a very good movie.
That was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, these directors are very good. I'm very excited for this version of Final Destination. I mean, I've liked all of the Final Destinations.
The ultimate death itself in the trailer, as we see it, is kind of sort of like tame. If it is indeed the end of it, but like the
I
game.
mean, I was joking also. Like,
but the games leading up to it were really fun. Like he gets his nose ring caught in the ceiling fan somehow.
yeah, I
It's
thought
perfect.
he was just gonna like start swinging around on that.
Right. They knew not to do that because it would tear out, right? It would tear
Yeah.
out before that could happen.
Yeah.
Their cast includes rumored Tony Todd, and I'm like,
Wow.
that
Well,
would be, yeah.
they could have filmed
maybe,
it a couple of months ago.
Yeah, I could see that. I feel like Tony Todd being Tony Todd, they probably did like, he's probably like done a lot of voiceover, a lot of, like, I can see them coming to him and being like, we haven't even finished what this will be, but can you like say a few quotes about how you're death or something? Like, we'll put it in there. You're right, though, is that it could have been filmed before he died. I hope he's in it. That would be great.
Yeah, hopefully.
I want to watch.
You got to do one more.
Yeah. I want to watch this right now.
Yeah, man. When does it
I
come
need
out?
it.
Do we know? I need
Let's see here. I really need it.
It's been way too long since we had a Final Destination.
It says expected May 16th.
Sweet.
Yeah, when was the last Final Destination? Was it
like
was it
2016? I think it's the one with David Koechner in it. It's the bridge collapse.
2011?
That can't be right.
Man. Also, oh my goodness, I just saw, let's see, is this an official poster for it? I just saw what I'm pretty sure The Thing is. You know, The Thing?
The accident?
Yeah.
Mm.
Because even though it does seem to be implied that it's about, well, they've done this before where there's always an accident no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Like Final Destination 2 is about cascading effect of the first one, but there's still the car pile up. This one appears, at least according to one poster, to be an apartment fire.
Oh.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. That's gonna be fun to watch, though.
I don't know if it's true, though. I'm just seeing one poster of an apartment fire, and it has but I'm like, is this fan made, or I don't know.
Mm. I'm into it.
I can't fucking wait for
Yeah, I'm
this.
so
Yes, I
excited,
will
man.
post them in
Yeah, of course.
for sure.
At least once.
Yeah. I'm going to have to watch every single one leading up so I don't get lost.
Right, yeah, you're going to want to
Yeah.
Yeah.
bone up on the lore.
Yeah. Shall we thank some more producers?
I think so.
All right. Big old thank you to Bar Cheese and Pargins' highly controversial new book, I'm Starting to Worry About This Black Box of Doom, out now.
Thank you.
Thank you to Chester's Prophet.
Thank you.
Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparts, Esquire.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Dan Hackroyd.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dave Ruff.
Thank you.
Thank you to David Knife Boot Henson.
Thank you so much.
Nice one.
Thank you to Deborah is awesome, Barbara is great, and cancer can go to hell.
Thank
you. Thank you to Dracula, the bus driving vampire.
Beep, beep.
Thank you to Driftless thinks he can dance like Baryshnikov up Mount Everest.
Thank you.
Thank you to Exploding Runes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Funky G, mostly comes out at night. Mostly.
Thank you. All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to Heathcliff's Helping Handfuls.
Thank you.
Thank you to Highlander Likes the Way Tom Says Pretty Sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you to Ombre.
Thank
you to Impossible Worlds. We have your Swaim and we'll release him for the cost of your subscription. Mwahaha.
Thank you.
Thank you to Joe Man, the annoying skeleton.
Thank
you to Lieutenant Frank Drebin, Police Squad.
Thank you.
Thank you to Look Mime on a podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mackenzie. Fuck shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick. Chill.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mercurial Oz.
Thank you.
And thank you to Mike the Lurker.
Thank you. Okay. So Marvel has been accused of using AI for its Fantastic Four poster. It has denied it, but it doesn't seem to be giving an explanation. Like, you'd think they'd go like, this is the artist.
This is the artist, yeah, but it 100% looks like AI.
Yeah, I mean, it's... I'll say this. At this point, I'm like, I don't want to accuse everything.
No,
but it looks like AI.
It does look like it, but it also looks like
could be a picture.
That's true.
That they like used AI to make it look more like a drawing or something. Someone pointed out, I don't know if you saw the teaser that was on Twitter. Someone pointed out that there's a teaser for the Fantastic Four that is like little kids running to look at a TV that have them on it. And someone pointed out on Twitter that they loop the giggling sound of the kids 3 times in this like really obvious way. So that's all to say that there does seem to be some laziness in the marketing right now where they're like, the supplemental stuff, like poster teaser, they're like, who gives a shit?
Sure.
Yeah, this absolutely looks like AI. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it could also be a picture that there's like a fucking Photoshop filter.
It's hard to say because I think that artists, even the artists themselves, will like use AI, right, to augment something that they're working on. Definitely some of it isn't because the words are legible. It doesn't say like Earth befeeds you or something like that. It at least like is competent in a way that I'll know that AI isn't. But
I have a article on my Substack where I was playing around with the Photoshop AI generative thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I kept using the same picture of myself and it just kept getting like crazier and crazier. And at one point it spit out words that are not a language. Like it was just like, I showed it to my wife and she was like, I'm not Googling that. It was so weird.
It is very weird. It's great for surrealist art. I wish it didn't drink more water than humans to operate. But like, if they like, say they ever solve the environmental stuff, I think there's a version where artists, like, we're going to get these gray areas, right? Where an artist comes out and goes like, yeah, I did use AI to touch up this thing or to change this, but then I added my own interpretation on it. And it will be up to people to decide whether or not that's moral or good, right? Or if the art, because there's like collage artists, right? Who are being like, yeah, I used things. So like, it ultimately has a place in the world, assuming it doesn't murder the earth in the process. It's just, I get why people are like...
It's a small price to pay for posters like these.
Exactly.
Allegedly.
Because right now it's like, it's producing stuff that looks bad, and it's enveloping everything. And it's like, no, fuck that.
But aren't the tech bros just building their own nuclear reactors and things to power?
Yeah, I guess they are. Yeah,
we'll be fine.
Imagine if we get into like
idea.
perfect, clean, renewable energy because tech bros needed to render tits better. But yeah, I don't know. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah,
when it comes down to, when it comes down to this, is like Marvel can't afford an artist.
Yeah.
So like, if we learn that they did have an art, I mean, Marvel is known for art. So like, if they did have an artist do this and the artist like added AI, I'll feel a little bit better versus they just kicked it to AI completely. That would be very depressing.
Which that's going to be next. Like this,
of course, yeah.
Like
that's what they're
people
testing.
howl about it this time, but eventually that's just
Yeah, that's why I think it's extremely important for now. Because like when I say like, oh, AI art probably has a place in the world, it's like right now it doesn't. Because what they're trying to do is replace everything with it. And so it's like you just have to push back. That's really
We're trying to replace artists with it.
Yeah. And so it's like they're shoving too hard. You got to shove back.
It's like, no. We wanted to replace labor with the robots.
Yeah, exactly.
Not art.
Yeah. It's like, listen, we can share the bed, but right now you're trying to shove me off of it. So, yeah, fuck you.
Hey.
We're getting a Buffy reboot series. Right now it's rumored, but it's like, come on. It's
From
happening.
Chloe Zhao.
Yeah, which good for her.
Yeah.
She made Nomadland and then Eternals. I feel like she took a hit and she's like, you know what? Buffy. Yeah.
Sarah Michelle Gellar is back, although not the main character.
I assume
it's going to be a show about a new Slayer that she will be mentoring.
Is Seth Green going to be there?
I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, this is good. It's better than, getting the original creator.
Joss Whedon
I guess.
is not involved,
Yeah. He probably gets a paycheck, mind you, but I mean...
Most likely, yeah.
It's weird because that's based off a movie. So it's like he didn't
wrote.
create... Oh, did he write the movie?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I have no nostalgia for Buffy. I don't think I've watched an
I didn't
episode
watch
of
it.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
But the fact that we haven't watched it, I think, is our failing. As like people our age who are interested in pop culture. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, Buffy is kind of a very big
It was a big thing for a lot of my friends, for sure.
I might have to watch it.
I got more into Firefly.
Yeah.
I host a show with someone who's a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan.
What do they call themselves? Buffers?
I don't know if
That's
there's
a good one.
a name for it. I wonder if she's heard about this because she gets all her news from Instagram and it's
Who doesn't?
usually very faulty. This morning she texted me and said Aaron Rodgers signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers 3 weeks ago. That didn't happen at all.
I really like the idea of getting your news from Instagram and just leaning into it completely.
Yeah.
And just like never, I guess that's what America's doing in general is just getting their news from bad places and leaning into it. But
well,
yeah,
we're here to talk about the movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, Buffy reboot.
Yeah, more Buffy. It's not definite, but it's probably definite.
How could you? It's a easy money.
Well, considering the people involved.
Yeah. Here's what's depressing. Because we always need the depressing aspect. No, is that X-Files reboot I enjoyed. 10 episodes a season if we were lucky. This is another case, right? Where it's going to be like 6 episodes.
Probably, yeah. It's for Hulu, I think.
Yeah, and it's like, come the fuck on, guys. 24 episodes. Do it. Include the dumb episodes. The ones that the filler. We want the fillers.
Yeah, the really bad ones.
Yeah. Give us it all. All right. More producers, shall we think?
Let's do it.
Big old thank you to Mongolian Throat Skanking.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to musical guest Rob Ritchie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Norm from Cheers. Thank you to Numino Ultra Microscopic Silico Volcanoconiosis Disestablishmentarianism Jones. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you every fucking week. Thank you to Psychic Bigfoot.
Thank you.
Thank you to Pumpkin Spiced Ed Nog. Thank you
so much.
Thank you to Rev MD.
Thank you.
Thank you to Ricky Cilantro.
Thank you.
Thank you to Robert.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Rosemary's Baby from Eraserhead.
Thank you.
Thank you to Screaming Horse Pyramid.
Thank you.
Thank you to Sorry Cop, world's most laughable centrist.
Thank you. All right.
And thank you to Steven.
Oh, thank you. I was trying to jump ahead.
Yeah, you were.
All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to Sweet Keel.
Thank you.
Thank you to the conveniently placed self-destruct button on the top of every baby's head.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Midnight Patron with patrons at midnight.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Municipal Medicinal Arsonist.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Oatmeal Savage.
Thank you.
Thank you to the To Be Terror Bunny. Thinks you could use more Rutger Hauer in your media diet.
Hey, thanks.
Evergreen. Thank you to these 7 Bs.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
To Tiger Drawers Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tip Drizzle.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tux.
Thanks.
Thank you to Vincent
Vincent.
Thank you to Will Rhymes with Bill, or Bill Rhymes with Will.
Thank you.
Thank you to Yorgos from the island of Crete.
Thank you.
And thank you to your mom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whew. Dave.
Whoa.
Dave, before we shuffle on out of here.
What is this?
To face the weekend while listening to the weekend.
And watching the weekend. Do
you have a movie that deserves more hype?
I sure do, Tom.
You son of a bitch.
I sure do,
knew you'd pull through.
Thomason. I do.
Thank you.
This movie is called The Dead Thing. It is streaming on Shudder February 14th. I don't want to spoil it, but the name kind of implies the spoiler as well, and I'm not even sure it's a spoiler. And so I'm still not going to I'll admit certain things from it. But the trailer is like a woman who goes out, who she's doing like a bunch of one night stands, and she meets a guy, and the guy ghosts her. They have a really great night, and it's like, oh, this is the start of something. He ghosts her, and then she finds him again. He doesn't seem to know that they had a relationship. It looks like a noir thriller, but then the trailer spins into horror. There's like horror beats. I know why, but it's the movie is basically a movie about a codependent relationship. It told in a supernatural setting. And I guess that's all I should say. Like I said, like there's one review of it. It's getting very good reviews that like kind of spoils it. The best comparison I saw was Before Sunset and Benson and Moorhead's Spring. If you haven't watched Spring is also a Before Sunset. It's about like a fling where the one of them turns out to be something they're not, something quite sci-fi and Lovecraftian. Great movie. But like this is going on that same idea, which is like a fling where one of them is super not human. And so I don't know. It looks really good. It looks really like got some good vibes. What do you guys think of this trailer?
Yeah, it looks great. The premise sort of reminds me of Contracted.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, that's really good. So
I've seen the poster.
Yeah. It's from like 2018. And in that, a woman, I mean, she doesn't have sex with, she gets assaulted by this dude who was working in a morgue and was like fucking corpses.
Yep.
And she starts turning into a zombie. And it's
just
like her trying to carry on about her day and like go to work and shit while she's slowly just turning into a zombie. It's fucking great. It's so good.
That sounds intense.
Yeah. And this seems like it's going to be similar vibes, and I'm not mad at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really into
this. Yeah.
I assume she's boinking a ghost, but we'll find out. I mean, it is called The Dead Thing.
That's, yeah. It's called The Dead Thing. But it seems like there's more there. And it goes into something sinister.
Right. It seems like you maybe shouldn't boink a ghost.
Yeah, why not the dead fling?
It worked. Fuck.
They blew it.
I mean, it worked out for fucking Dan Aykroyd that one time. So
that's
like
true.
A ghost?
Well,
yeah, he got blown by one.
That was a dream, officially.
Yeah, was it though? I mean, it is. So this is neither here nor there, but it would mean that a ghost essentially went into a place that's specifically there to kill ghosts and blew one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why would you do that? You know, why would you go to the police station and like blow a cop? You know, a dare. You're right. Okay, yeah, that absolutely happened. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that.
It's a gang initiation.
That's a ghost dare. Yeah. Oh, dare to blow a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. But yeah, this looks good. The Dead Thing. Everybody check it out. It'll be on, if you have Shudder, it'll be there soon enough.
You should have Shudder.
You should have Shudder.
Yeah, it's a greatest deal in streaming.
Yep.
It really is.
Yeah. That's still, I think, the streaming service I use the most. Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Me too, yeah.
Great.
I think that's a sode. We've done
I think
it.
so too. Yeah.
Woo! Adam, thank you so much for being on.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You wanna at the end of this say something, plug something, assert yourself?
I mean, I plugged all that stuff up top, but patreon.com/unpops. Go there.
All right.
Give me money.
Yeah.
No.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Right
Do
now.
it, folks.
Speaking
And
of, Dave.
Yeah, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We have exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and Spiel Boys. We watch movies every Friday night with our patrons as well. That's a tier that you can get. That's tonight. We hang out. We watch 2 movies. We good movies, really good movies.
Sometimes.
The best movies.
Occasionally they're good movies. Other
best.
times they're Congo. The best movie.
The best movie.
We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store where we have all kinds of cool original artwork by cool original artists like Starlene Hodge, Michael Vincent Bramley, Justin Brown, and others. Check it out. And also check out our new show, Badical, Badical.
Badical.
Wherever you get your podcasts. It's a nice little goof 'em up show. And like and subscribe. Wait, is that right? No.
Yeah.
Review. Yeah, well, basically, this like and subscribe.
Right, and subscribe, review.
Rate and review. It
I
helps.
think you can subscribe to You can subscribe to podcasts.
Yeah, well, I assume the people listening already are.
That's a good point.
Rate and review.
Rate and
It helps.
review. Love us. Love us with your words.
Yeah. And a ghost, if you have room.
Yeah,
Room left in your heart.
for that ghost.
For that ghost.
Squirm in there.
Us and that ghost.
Yeah.
All right, say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, listen, our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can find him on twitter.com as The Corlew or go to shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. For more of his work, go to mvbramley.art. Our episode artwork is by Justin Brown, available on Twitter as Justin T. Brown or at artistbyjustinbrown.com. And finally, additional artwork is by Starlene Hodge. You can find her work at starlenearts.com or on Twitter as StarleneX. Cool. Goodbye.